Hello my dear friend, welcome back to my channel. This is Junie's Plan With Me. For this month, I want to try something new and talk about my studio setting. So the theme of this month is room tour on paper. As you can see, I challenged myself on using color pencils for the first time, and I have to admit that it was not as easy as expected. But I really enjoy making all the spreads, and I hope this video is helpful or inspiring for you. Now let's get started. My home studio is actually my living room shared with my husband. What I'm going to draw here is pretty much half of my living room. Well, 80% is more accurate, I guess, considering he only occupies a corner of it. The color pencil I'm using today is really old. I believe I got it when I was in high school, and I barely use it, as you can see. Instead of doing black outline first, I decided to go with color pencil directly. The sofa I'm using is from IKEA. I love pink, but there was no pink option, so I went with my second favorite color, red. I try to follow the fabric texture and also emphasize the structure by shadowing the inner surface with more pressure. I'm not a master on color pencil drawing obviously, but I want to share something I learned during this month's BUJO setup. One thing I realized that is really different from other art medias I used before is that for color pencil, when you want to make darker shades, you have to add the color layer by layer. For others, like watercolor, you can control it by adjusting the amount of water or paint. But here, I need to be very patient and do it again for the dark area. I also choose the brown red pencil after the regular red one for making certain part even darker, as well as the edges. My cushion's design is from Domo, the official mascot of Japan's public broadcast NHK. You may also watch animation of it before somewhere online. I used to use it in my office at my previous work, and my boss called it Angry Poo Poo. He may look scary with the wide open mouth and sharp teeth, but believe me, he's actually super cute and funny. Next to my sofa, I'm going to draw a plant here, but because our living room is using carpet, not hardwood floor, we don't really have any standing plants. I thought about getting a fake one as decoration, but I eventually decided to wait until I have my own backyard and grow some real one back there. On the other side of my sofa, I have a small table from IKEA too. I wanted a white and gold really fancy one, but at the end I chose this more functional table, plus it's easier to clean. Behind it, I have a projector on top of this tripod. Even though we use living room as study room, we still want to keep a little bit entertainment function here. The projector is facing towards the wall above my husband's table where we don't hang anything on, so we can watch movies sometimes. As I mentioned earlier, our floor is carpet, but I still got this cute circle carpet next to my sofa and table. It just gives me a more comfortable feeling. Then on the table, I have our wedding photos and my favorite candle. On the second layer, I usually put a box of tissue. I also have a notebook here for some ideas come to my mind when I relax on the sofa. Now let's move on to the wall above. When we first moved in this place, I did some pink tone watercolor drawings as decoration because I didn't get my pink sofa. I scanned them yesterday, edited to the size to fit my notebook, and print them out. I'm also considering to put them in my Etsy shop too. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Then I draw the frames with black pencil. The frames, I got them again from IKEA. It's a set of 8 if I don't remember it wrong. It also comes with an instruction paper showing a few different ways of combination you can hang on the wall, which is really sweet even though I didn't follow it at all. On the other side of the room, I have my table set up against the wall. Believe it or not, it is my last year's Christmas gift, and I'm really happy about it. The main surface of the table can be lifted up like what I'm showing you right now. And on the left side, there's an extra piece for placing tools and pens. Under the surface, there are 2 big drawers for storage, and on the lower back of the table, there is a narrow shelf which is good for placing papers. It also comes with a high chair. By the way, all the furnitures I draw today, I'll leave the links in the description just in case you're interested. On the left side, right now I have some space left, which I'm considering to get a drawer or a shelf, something like what I'm drawing here. I actually also have a small table with wheels on the right side, attached with a lot of video shooting and editing gear, which I'm not going to draw here. Instead, I'm going to draw another plant I like a lot. Then on the wall, I have this great display rack for some of my drawings and notes. In the corner, I have a lamp that is also come from IKEA. So yeah, that's basically my studio setting. I also have a bookshelf and a beanbag, which I'll show you in later spreads. Overall, the cover page is such a challenge for me to use color pencils. I hope you got inspired and maybe do your own version of room tour on paper. Then for the monthly view page, what I'm going to show you is my table. I was really excited when I came up with this idea until later the perspective drawing process drove me crazy. I could use some help from a wide-angle camera, I guess, but I just got the camera idea as I'm doing voiceover right now. Now in the center of this spread, I'm drawing a big July calendar, as you can see. I tried out the vertical calendar in June, if you remember, and I want to share some thoughts on that. The vertical calendar is the original design from Reader Corral. Instead of a box per day, you have the whole line to write down the notes or events every day. For me, it works very well on noting a series of things. For example, I record this video and do a rough editing on Monday, write scripts and do voiceover on Tuesday, then prepare thumbnail for YouTube and photos for Instagram on Wednesday, and eventually release it on Thursday. So for this project schedule, listing them down vertically is really helpful. But on the other side, if you are used to locate the day in a week, you may feel weird even the vertical calendar also shows you the weekdays and the weekends. I suggest you to try both of them and find which one works better for you. Or you can use both, half page for the vertical calendar with a small regular one on the other side as reference. Now it's time to show you what's on my table. I don't drink coffee, but I'm a tea lover. Here I have a cup of red tea in the corner. By the way, it's summer now, better to drink green tea. I personally prefer red tea is because my parents brought me too much red tea, so I have to finish it as quickly as possible before the next year's dose come in. I usually have a sticky note on my hand side because I have pretty high standard for writing down on notebook, so I use sticker note for temporary things and note and then organize them later. As you may know, I love gold color everything, so paper clip and binding clips have to be gold. Then on the right side, I have this pen my best friend gave to me as Valentine's gift because I was with her in New York in February. Yep, she's the owner of the cat in my Make Plan With Me video if you watched it. As for the pen holder, I actually have 6 of them for organizing different types of pens and brushes. Here I'm only going to draw the one for my watercolor brushes. On the red edge, I capture a little bit of the ring light I'm using right now. So basically, this is how it looks like when I record videos. I use my phone as the main camera on top and another camera on the side. Under it, I draw my favorite pen. It's a German brand called Lamy. I also use pencil a lot. It's a habit from doing sketch, I guess. Then on the right side, I have my watercolor stuff. The one I'm drawing here is a brand called Paul Rubens. It's named after the Dutch artist Peter Paul Rubens. On the left side, I have this really cute gold scissor I got recently because I was doing a washi tip video, and I thought I need a pretty scissor for that. You know, it's a good excuse for shopping. Then I also have some other tools around like knife, ruler, tapes, and a file folder. My glasses are round Harry Potter style, and I think I've been using them for like 5 years. Then at the right corner, I have my earphone that I usually leave with the laptop. Here I have this amazing circle maker I got recently and makes my life so much easier when I need to draw circles. And finally, I draw a pen and the eraser at the end. Like always, I'd like to use a thicker pen to emphasize the outline of everything. I'm not really happy how empty the overall looks like, so I add some wood texture later, and it turns out just like my table. I also give the item some shadows, which make it look much better. On the next spread, let me show you the wall above my table. Here I hang a great display rack that I got from Daiso, and I put some of my drawings and other really amazing artist work on it, so I can remind myself how far the way is to get the level I want, and I should practice more. So for my habit tracker and sleep log, I'm going to place them on the papers, which couldn't fit better. Then I color them, stamp the month calendar, and write down the name of each habit plus the sleep tracker. On the table, I decided to do the outline first this time. Here I have a cup of tea, sticky note, some papers in the file folder, my iPad, iPencil, one journal, one book, 2 jars, one for brush and one for water, and at the end a pen and a pencil. Then I use my iPad screen for the title of this spread, Habit Tracker and Sleep Log. After simple coloring the items, this page is done. The black outline actually looked not bad, so I also add some black line on the cover page, which you will see at the final flip through. If you want to recreate this page, you don't have to draw exactly the same. Make your own version with whatever on your table, and also don't forget to tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see your beautiful work. The next page is mood tracker. I actually have a bookshelf right next to my sofa, which I didn't draw on the cover page, but I thought it could be perfect for mood tracker. Now let me start with drawing my sofa again. This time I'm also going to draw the blanket come with the domo cushion as a set. After drawing the one on cover page, I feel a little bit confident of this one, but still I have to admit that in order to master color pencil, I need way more practice. Those artists who can draw the texture like real are amazing. I tried my best, and the blanket still turns out more like a piece of cloth. Next to the sofa, I'm drawing another plant that doesn't exist in my room. It's okay, I believe that I'll have it one day in the future. As for the color of the leaves, I choose a softer green here compared to the previous pages. It looks more cohesive. My living room doesn't have any ceiling light, so I have lamps everywhere. Behind the sofa, I'm drawing this really antique feeling lamp. Then on the wall, I draw a photo frame for the name of this page. Now it's time to draw the shelf. The bookshelf I have is actually not as big as the one I'm drawing, but there's a saying, art is inspired by life but beyond it. So I think it is okay to draw it with some exaggeration. I also struggle a lot whether to draw the outline with black pen or not on this page. Eventually I decided to follow the overall style and add black line where the structure could be emphasized more, mainly the edges. Then let's get back to the bookshelf. I'm adding some wood color first and then also draw the wood texture, which turned out not bad. On top of the shelf, I draw 31 books to represent 31 days. Here I also have this mini wood human model who accompanies me for many years. And if you're trying to buy one for drawing human figure reference, I suggest you get a different kind because this one's joint is not as flexible as you want. On the bottom level, I also have a basket used to be for some handcraft material, but now it's full of electronic devices and cables. I color the books on the top shelf as legends for different moods and then write down the dates. On the right side, I have my beanbag I got from BUJO. My husband complains it's too small for him, but really, I think it's because it's too big. For me, it's perfect. Next to it, I draw this lamp that gives me really comfortable and soft light, and then write down the title on it. Let me also draw a colorful carpet to connect these two pages. Last month, I tried out 2 lines per day, which works pretty good on the day I want to write down a lot. But it also bothers me that I have to flip back to the previous page for mood tracker, so this month I'm changing back to 1 line per day. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have in my studio room setting. I actually also have a really traditional Chinese style room divider, but let's forget about it for now. The next page is my brain dump and Instagram tracker. I decided to go with this really simple layout with a headset cable dividing the space into 2/3 for brain dump and 1/3 for the feed plan. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, here are my accounts. I post bullet journal related contents in the first one, sketch and watercolor in the second one. On the bottom of this page, I draw myself sitting on the floor with domo blanket and enjoy the afternoon tea. Finally, we're on the weekly spread. On this page, I have the first 2 weeks together, and I'm trying a new layout with timeline combined. On the left, I have the week number, calendar, and event planner. Then for the rest space, I separate into 2 rows. On the beginning of each row, I write down the time from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and then each block is 6 by 17. Then in the middle space, I'm going to draw some of my tools and supplies. I've always wanted to try this layout and see how this changed my productivity, because there's studies showing that when you plan a task, it will be easier for you to do it when you set a specific time for it. So yeah, that's all the spreads I want to share in this video today. Before the final flip through, I want to give a special thanks to my new Patreon members: Ariel, Stefan, MG Brown, Carrie, Vivian, Tempest, Crystal, and Kitty. Thank you for your support, and I really appreciate it. In my Patreon community, you can get digital printout PDF of all my spreads and other bonus content. I'll leave the link in the right up corner and in the description down below. So for July, I tried out color pencil for the first time, and I'm really glad I challenged myself on it. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to turn on the bell. And I hope this video is helpful or inspiring for you. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing July.